I think they just removed the record button. Stop. Yeah, it's recording. Yeah, it's recording. Sure. Yeah, it says pause, stop. So I guess it's on. Okay, good. So welcome to DSU. Welcome to Executive MBA program. And for the next 3 hours today, and for the next 18 hours in your term, I'm going to be teaching you marketing. Okay. And so this is my name. This is my email ID, and there's no need for you to write it down. Okay. In my class, we'll get to that later. In my class, I prefer you just sit back, absorb. Okay. I like two-way communication. I catch drowsy eyes very quickly, especially those behind the glasses. Okay, so I'll wake you up and we'll make sure that we have a interesting classes going on. Okay, and for those of you online, hi. Can one of you unmute yourself? I hope that's the way it works, right? Can one of you unmute yourself and say hello?
Hello, sir.
Sir.
Hello,
Hello, Professor.
Hello, Professor.
Yeah,
Hello,
sir.
Professor.
that was exactly one of you. Okay, good, good. Hello to all of you. And where's the camera? This is the camera, right? Okay, so I'll try coming into the camera as possible. Then what do we have? This, we'll get rid of this for some time so that you guys can also. Yeah, this is one declaration I have to do. You know, nobody catches us on the wrong foot, saying I drew a lot of material from a lot of places. And so it's very difficult to acknowledge from where these sources are. I'm just saying the sources, I acknowledge the sources, and the ownership of that is with them. Right? These are your rules. These are your rules in my class. Okay? Please maintain Zoom etiquette. Whatever that means, you know what it means. Whether it means unmuting whenever you want or unmuting whenever it's necessary, that's up to you. And those of you in class, mandatory that you pay attention, but I know all of you are also working professionals. So in case you get a phone call, most welcome to go out and take the call. But then don't do this, okay? Speak very quietly in the class. Attendance in class is mandatory, whichever way you want to do it. Attend online or attend offline. Attend online is fun. Attend offline is, I guess, that's what it is. You have chosen this course on your own when your parents didn't push you to school as they pushed you into nursery. Or maybe into engineering also. You didn't want engineering, but they pushed you there. Whatever the reason is. Okay, so now you're on your own, right? On your own, your money and all that stuff. You guys want to come a little forward? If there are, you can, I'd prefer not to raise my voice so that it's heard when you can come a little bit forward. Okay, then it's your money, so you paid for it. Yeah. Will not get too. I will not get too strict on that, right? That's well understood. What else? You'll get used to the word LMS. You will get used to the word assignment. Life will be tough. Life will be miserable. But at the end of it, it's a rewarding experience. I can tell you, out of the 10 batches we have taken so far, every one of them have had a rewarding experience and doing their MBA. Well, then there are no prescribed books, no syllabus, out of syllabus questions will come. So you cannot do this. Okay. Finally, 8, this is a management course. We intend to create better managers out of you. Few years from now, there could be CEOs, CFOs and whatnot from this batch. And lastly, I'm here to teach. You're here to learn. No argument. Okay, good. Any questions on these points? Yeah, I shouldn't forget to mention one thing. I'm available on Twitter. Follow me. Okay. Okay, good. Now what? Now what? Okay, one bit of an advice to guys online. Uh, Guys, online is I get carried away by the presence of students in the class. So I may not be seeing your chat as frequently I would have done if it was a completely offline course. So feel free to unmute yourself and talk. Okay. Right. Not able to hear. Okay, that must be an old one. Introduction. Can we get rid of this for a moment? Which one can we get? Okay. Introduction, professor. Introduction, student. Okay. Oh, I don't know what was that. I can minimize it. No, I will hang it here. Hey, who writes this kind of introduction? It's almost like my hobby is watching YouTube and television serials, my passport number. I declare all the above information. Isn't how we write our CVs nowadays? Not in a marketing class. Get rid of it. Move on. No way can we have something. We're going to have this. This is marketing class. This is having fun. This is playing with words. Okay. So there you go. All that I wanted to tell you in 10 lines. Lots of good things about me, talking about myself. I'm squeezing it into a very short sentence, makes it interesting to read. Now she's going to argue with me that RCB is better than CSK, and why South Bangaloreans are not the best guys for coffee, but it adds up to it. Okay. So first lesson for you: no more boring presentations like the previous slide. Oh, I have 5 languages. Who cares? Speak one properly. Correct? So, and my passport number, wonder what I will do with it. Yeah. Okay, so done, understood, very nice. Now do this. I reminded you all that you have to get your laptops, get your computers on and working. Log in and fill the Google Forms. Right? Any questions? Any questions? Just ask. Log into, and I want an equally funny, witty, representing you, short 180 characters, write up about you. Clear? Perfect. Makes sense? Good. Are you able to see this? Are you able to log in? Yeah, there you go. Somebody just pasted it. You don't have your phone too. Yeah, I think it'll work on phone, but then I had told you guys that you will have to get, if you can access it on phone, it should work, right? Hope so. Okay. So you have 10 minutes at 140, 150. Let me know if you're able to access it. I converted into a slightly easier one so that you can, yeah. And, Yeah. Sure. I can paste it if you want. I think it's quite easy to remember. You want that screen? No, right? So as you fill in, this will keep popping up. Who's not able to access? No. What does it say? This connection is not, but who is able to access it? Yeah, I guess. Can you, I think then the problem is not mine, right? Yeah. Done. Okay. Where do you work? Huh? I thought you were working with IT services because they are the ones who don't read manuals. Correct? How many of you in IT logistic, do you read manuals? Touch your heart and say, do you read manuals? Who reads manuals, right? You ask your friend how to solve it after you've damaged it, right? So I'm not able to access it. Sid Ramesh. Chetan, are you able to access? Anybody who's already filled in? You both, are you able to access it? Huh? You need the link. She'll give you. Will give you. I can write it here. That could be best for, even I forgot what's the link. Yeah, this is the link. Are you working on it? Oh, is it? Not working for you. For whom is it working? It's working for you, right? Working. Filled in already? Okay. Can anyone share the link once again? Okay, that anyone is going to be me now. No, I'll do that. Control C. Okay, good. Oh, there you go. Guys have already answered. Very nice. Very nice. I'm a team player and creative. Very good. Who's this? Anybody here already? Chaitra from Bangalore, 1 year. Found interest in management and computers, moved to talent acquisition. Very nice. Roshni here? No? Roshni, JP Morgan, lots of JP Morgan guys. Support CSK, why not? After all, it's our Talaiver's MSD. Correct. Well done, Roshni. No, but I'll switch sides the moment Kohli moves out. So I'm a BCom. Why can't I make this whole thing like this? I'm 25 years, Karthik from South Bangalore, IT guy, very nice, like to go out. Yeah, good. Hi, Karthik. Hi, Somsundram. Then who else? Who's the aerospace engineer here? Saranya, happily married and settled. Yeah, aerospace design engineer. Embedded engineer, good. Sahana. Sir, may I fill this form later, please? और क्या बोलेंगे? What do I tell you? Up to you, sir. Up to you, Ramesh. If you have my name and you're asking for the Mayur, I've studied in business administration, typical Bangalore boy looking to make dreams. Okay. Bueller, India, welcome back. Karthik, that's it. More to follow. Faisal, how are you? Anybody from here who's filled and uploaded so far? Yeah, what's your name? John, where are you? I don't see you here. Oh, there you are. You're the guy who occasionally write lyrics. Okay. Follower of music. Okay. What music do you listen? Mostly pop. Okay. Yeah, Siddha. Good job. Smart move. Instead of saying I'll not answer, putting it up here. Good. Still have some more time. Good. Lots of guys coming in here. I can see. And my name is Bhavan. Oh, that's it. Or I think Bhavana. Yeah. Bhavana, you can, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if there's I'm sure you accidentally must have pressed the enter button, but doesn't mind. I don't know if it allows for one more. 35 years. Okay, well, we were supposed to ask some other question. I forgot that. Correct. Tesla, Google, Apple, KTM, OnePlus phones, hyped. No value for that phone, right? OnePlus mobile. Apple is also hyped. Not really worth it, you think? Yeah, you know, all of you are most welcome. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Electronic vehicles are hyped. They'll die one fine day. Hand creams are hyped. There's nothing called a hand cream. Cricket is hyped. Cricket is God. Tesla is a company. Siemens, Google. As you can see, there are very few companies that we love. Vena Engineering, 90. A lot of many more coming in. Ramya, all of you, any of you from here who has uploaded, raise your hands so that I can see your face. Name. Shrikant. Okay, Shrikant is this guy, right? Shrikant Nagaraj. Jumped 2 companies is 1.5 years and 2 signal lights in 3 years. Oh, no, that's not there, right? Okay. Then what's your name? Wasim. Where is Wasim? Already gone up or something? Yeah. Okay, yeah, Wasim. Wasim with a V. Perfect. Very good. Anybody else? Archana Hude, is that correct? Good. Looking for a bubbly, helpful, and good friend. I'm Archana Hude, crazy fan of Korean drama, who prefer thriller. Wow, nice. Good, nice words. Fun. We all know what you do. You know, many times you have your CV mentioned. I'm trying to look at another viewpoint. We give another 3 minutes and we are done. Anybody else? Divya Jyoti, I am from Assam. Very good. Fond of baking, says Anupama. Cyril Thomas Joy is a South Anglo-Indian strong hospitality profession, 3 to 7 years. Very good. Renuka, 10 plus. I'm very passionate about understanding business impact that softwares are doing. Often work. Off work, I'm just saying, often work. Off work, I enjoy traveling. Good. Who else is there? Nutan Kumari is most difficult task to perform. I believe this is the most important task to perform. I'm an introvert. I currently lead a team of 12 in human resources. I started, okay, Nutan, I'm going to keep an eye on you. You are an introvert. I'm Surya from Vijayawada, hoping as the capital of Andhra Pradesh, and I did a graduation. Excellent. Savita, anybody else from here who want me to read out their name? Savita, right one. Savita C, right? HR, Google Finance. Which phone do you have? Which phone do you have? Oh, why? Obviously, that's I. I also believe iPhone is very high, not really worth the money. Dell, shopping, H&M, Starlink. Who's saying Arun Kumar? Are you here? You mentioned Starlink is hyped. How do you know about Starlink? Okay. You're wondering why I'm asking you? It's because I come from the same industry, not from. I'm a satellite guy. Okay, can we move on? Done. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. That's a nice way of knowing you. You want to know more about your colleagues or classmates or whatever you want to call them. It's also in the LMS, all these data. So all your data will be there. Good. Nice. Thank you very much. All of you filling in, because there's a cutoff at 180. You cannot add more than 180 words. So the idea is, don't do that first CV that I wrote. Okay. I wanted you to have a other kind of CV. Okay. Return to it. Happening. We're going to have problem with this. Trust me. Is this visible? Sweta, can you see the screen? Because you're. I'm sure they're seeing the screen, right?
It's
Perfect.
visible, Professor.
Perfect. Good. So where we started off, I said, welcome to marketing. I know you all now. Now you know each other. Room is a bit warmed up. We need to increase the air conditioning to a bit lower, and then move to the next slide. What is that next slide? A typical class session is going to be lots of noise. We want to make it as relaxed as possible. Want you to talk, reply back. I will define and explain and elaborate the topic. But the last thing I do is read slides, because I believe that all of us are literates. So I'll not read the slide for you. The slide will be there and I'll keep talking. Okay. Again, I am not here to educate you to pass the exam. That's your problem. Whether you want to concentrate on passing the exam or be a better professor, or better professional or a better manager, that's up to you. But my job, as directed by the Dayanand Sagar University and all that, is to enrich, make you excel in whatever doing, and empower you, right? We're going to use all of this material to teach you. We're going to draw exhaustively from Harvard Business School data. We're going to draw lots of information from Ivy League colleges, and make sure that what we study, what I teach, is going to be interesting and all that. Okay. Well, what is this slide? What does this indicate? Any idea? So, message conveyed.
I can take water to the house. I can make it drink.
Yes. So that's the most. A picture is worth 1,000 words. So I can only do that much. Beyond that, I can pull you to drink the water. But if you have hydrophobia, right? What can I do? And I don't think anybody has hydrophobia.
It can be someone is telling to the customer also, you have to buy my product.
Okay, maybe. We'll know about it shortly. Good. Keep interrupting. I insist on saying, keep interrupting. Middle of the class, you get an idea. I'm not here to. It's not a one-way. It's not a simplex communication. It's a do. Okay. So you guys are here, November 2021. This is the best time to do your MBA. Trust me, this is indeed the best time in history to do MBA. Why? Because everything is ulta. Everything that we learned since time immemorial is gone thrown to the wind over the last 5 years. Why do I say so? And I'll emphasize on that later on. Thyrocare, a 40-year-old company, got swallowed by PharmEasy. And PharmEasy is a small company. You know, PharmEasy guy coming up and disturbing your ads in Indian Idol and all that stuff. Yeah, how many of you watch Indian Idol? Ah, good, nice crowd. Very younger crowd. My wife watches Indian Idol all the time. Okay, so that's one thing. And Baiju, another company which probably didn't exist 5 years back, 4 years back, picks up a company called Akash, which has been there for 40 odd years, 50 odd years. There you go. That's what's happening in our lives over the last couple of years. Everybody said WhatsApp is just a social nonsense. And now WhatsApp is where you can pick up your vaccination certificate. WhatsApp is where your tickets are available to you. WhatsApp has now become business, right? Where it started off and where are we now? And nothing like UPI. The way, I'm sure all of us are watching all kinds of stuff. And I told you that I saw this on WhatsApp. Must be joking, right? So UPI is sweeping all over the one. And this morning, just before coming to the class, I follow this guy called Anand Mahendra. Who is he?
Mahendra.
Okay, okay, good. So I was following up and he's put up a tweet. What is this? You know, you have this Basawa, they call him, no? They have this bull. They carry him, they decorate the bull and take him all around with a PP guy and wanting money. And you know what's got? He's got a phone pay on the head of the bull. He said that's the height of UPI. Just this morning he posted. That's the height of UPI, and that's the revolution that's happening. Honestly, I have not used my credit card for a few months now. Why would I want to use my credit card when I can do a UPI payment? It's very easy, very, very easy. The world has changed. The world has changed so much that Tata wins Air India for 18,000 crores and 2 IPL teams got 14,000 crores. Crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy. 2 IPL teams are costing, 13,000 crores, almost 18,000. A few crores here and there, right? So that's the worst part of life, is that everything is gone upside down. It's not going to be. And guys who attended my previous term, guys who attended the term before that, all scared. I was as scared as they were of the virus. Now, world's largest vaccination program is on, and all of us are vaccinated, right? Yes. Twice over? Yes. And India, GDP is growing, wonderful, 9.5%. What is GDP? We learn in class. Okay. So the best time to do your MBA, best time to do your, pat yourself, congratulate yourself for making a wonderful decision. And not only that, the foundation have shaken you to the core. When I was there, my dad said, stick to your core skills, stick to the same job, work for the same company for 25, 30 years. Crazy, who does that, right? They'll throw you out. Even if you are there, they'll throw you out. You cannot have core skills, because the core skills, the first job that I had, the only thing that I couldn't do was I didn't know how to type, and I had a secretary who typed for me on a typewriter. That was her core skill. 3 years later, she's babysitting, because we don't need typewriters. We don't need typing skills. We don't need shorthand. You know, how many of you know there's a thing called shorthand, right? Some of you, okay? Be careful when you raise your hands. They'll know how old you are, okay? So that is what it is. Core skills are dead. Core skills are dead. You have to add more skills. Hold on to your market. Hold on to your market? No, it's not going to be enough to hold on to your market. It's not enough if that small kaka shop or putti shop or whatever that is called near your house treats you well. he has to do something differently. Otherwise, Swiggy and Dunzo will come and kill him. You have to destruct the industry. You have to destroy the sector. You have to disrupt. Otherwise, you will be there. Customer loyalty. What is customer loyalty? Nonsense, right? I mean, what is, if somebody gives me 5 rupees less, I'll go there. What is loyalty? I mean, you think I'm a slave or what? No loyalty. Loyalty is dead. For a few dollars more is the name of a movie. So I made it for a few dollars less. Then big fish eat small fish. That is what they said, no? Big fish eat small fish. Farm Easy eats Thyrocare. Baiju eats so many of them, right? You know, so many of them. No longer. Downsizing. Earlier, whenever we used to have in our management, oh, we're going to downsize people. I can say, I'm 7 years in the company. Koi chhu nahi sakta. This guy, just last month he joined. He will be the one who will be asked to go out. First in, last out, nonsense. First in, first out. Okay? If you are not agile, if you're not adaptive, if you're not upskilled, thank you, golden handshake if you're lucky. Otherwise, there's not even handshake nowadays, right? And then they say, if it's free, it's promotion. If it's free, you are the product, right? If GPS or Google Maps is free, it's because you are generating data so that Google can share it with Uber, Zomato, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so one word of advice, either you're growing or you're dying, either you're ahead of the curve or you're out, right? Don't get scared, you're all sitting here, okay? Then traditionally life was divided. How was life? Life was very nice before. Get up, learn, work, and that's all. Once you start, you join, there's no more needing of any studying, right? Over. Then you get married, happily settle down in life. Not going to work like this. Now it's learning, 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 learning. You have to learn all the time. I don't know how many of you know that the retired people are the ones who are suffering the most. They have to learn to use smartphones, and it's very difficult for them. It's very, very, my mom is 90 plus. She sees us all the time on the phone and she doesn't know how to use it. It's tragic. And people don't know how to use UPI. People are still scared. That's it. If you're scared, you're out. Online banking. I mean, all of us had to relearn Zoom. And personally, I don't know what you guys think of. Personally, I find Microsoft Teams very painful. But I'm ashamed to say so in the meeting. They say, sir, we are sending you a Microsoft Teams meeting. Oh my God, how am I going to manage it? But I have to learn it. Otherwise, you're out. Even for somebody like us, age doesn't matter. If we are there, you have to learn. There's no, you can be a digital illiterate. Be aware of it. Okay? But we are the best guys on the face of the earth. Are you guys online?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it. LR Venkatesh. Ho jayega. Okay. So, but I don't know if the script can follow me. Okay, so the Homo sapiens are very crazy people. Who are Homo sapiens? Can you name any one of them?
Guinea pig.
Us, right? Us. Okay, us. Perfect. So you see what happens. Take a penguin, put him in a desert, he'll die. Or take a camel, put him in the Arctic, he'll die. But take a man, he'll survive in both places. And you know, a baby elephant or a baby penguin, the moment it's born, it'll start walking. Or it'll start swimming or whatever thing is. But we don't. We are the least wired creatures in the world. We come out of our mother's womb least wired, only to suck, only to cry, only to breathe. Every other thing we have to learn. Learn the art of rolling over, learn to talk, learn everything else. So the human being are programmable. So don't come back and tell me, sir, this course is too tough for me. I don't think I can understand. I have spent 7 years in HR. I'm not going to attend classes because I don't think that's going to work. No, if you really have to survive in the industry, you have to learn everything. You should be able to read a balance sheet. You should be able to look at an operating manual, and you should also be able to comment on the market. So you've come here to learn every course. Pay attention to every course. Okay. Any questions so far? It has to be any questions so far. Perfect. Understood?
Yes,
Or
sir.
yeah. Okay, good. So we'll have group assignments. We'll have class activities as one that you saw now. If more and more of you will attend classes and promise to attend the classes, then I'll have group activities in the class. Otherwise, you will have to do them online. Okay. Why group activity? Because somebody said, I pushed somebody here. No, who was that? You? Somebody said that I'll go that side and join the team. Yeah. So I said, no, the more you say that, I'm going to push you that. And there was somebody here who said, sir, which team do I go and join? You find yourself a team and go ahead and join up, right? So I want you to work as a team, because working as a team is the fundamental thing about managers. Being a manager, you should be able to take your team forward, right? And ability to see beyond the thing. Yeah, we'll do all of that later. Okay. Okay, now we're moving into something a little more serious, something a little more important, and let's pay more attention to this. Basically, why should we be studying marketing? Marketing, there are all kinds of words associated with marketing. Marketing means sales. Sales means marketing. Marketing is forcing somebody else to buy a product. Marketing is, they say that marketing is selling a refrigerator to the person who's staying in an igloo, or a person staying in the Antarctic. In reality, the guys in Antarctic need a refrigerator because that will monitor the temperature. But anyway, the point is, over the next 10 minutes, I'm going to take you down the history track. I'm going to start off with how we lived 100,000 years back. But I'm not going to go history the way history is written. How is history written? This guy conquered this kingdom, that kingdom was born, his son's name was Humayun, Humayun's son was no idea, who cares?
Akbar.
Akbar. Okay. And Akbar's son was
Shah Jahan.
Brilliant. Okay, good. So, but who cares? What has Humayun and Akbar got to do with our present lives? So what I'm going to do in the next 10 minutes is give you a slightly different perspective of our 10,000 years or whatever it is. So let's look at world history through the progress of mankind in trade and commerce. Okay, so that you will understand where the word marketing has evolved. Okay, let me minimize this so I have a cleaner screen. 5,000 years back, what do you think was 5,000, 10,000 years back, whatever that word is? How far did man travel? Maybe a few square kilometers, that's all, right? He must have gone to the nearest village and probably another village, that's it. And what was man doing? He was basically hunting, right? He was hunting and gathering. Man himself was being preyed. Now, he could have been eaten by a lion, or he could have been killed by a tiger or whatever. So what was there? The whole backyard was the world. He knew nothing other than the backyard of his village. That is all he knew. And trade, there was no trade. There was obviously no trade. Very few things. Exchange meat with some fruits or things like that. And everything dependent on the role of nature. If you had a good rain, he survived. If it was a bad rain, he died, right? So what was happening? Some of these questions were not important at all. Who was in control? God was in control. because we thought God controlled the weather. So we prayed to the God and said, oh God, give us a good thing. Oh God, save me from this tiger. Oh God, I hope this night is not too dark. And sail, what sail? I don't think there was really a word called sail. And who needed to be pampered? We pampered the gods, right? That's why we did all kinds of pujas and gave all kinds of offerings to God. And that is how man survived. That was when? 5,000, 10,000 years back. After that, what happened? After that, kings came over, right? The kings came, and what did the king do? The king was to just tax you, right? What is a movie which was all about king and taxes? A movie associated with cricket and taxes?
Lagan.
Lagan, right? So why would they do that? The only motive of every king was conquer, conquer, kill, conquer, expand my kingdom, expand my kingdom. Let me go bigger. Let me conquer many more kingdoms. And let me tax my people. Let me tax the merchant. Let me tax the farmer. Let me tax everybody. Why was this happening? Why was this happening? This was happening because they believed in what is called the zero-sum game. What is the zero-sum game? It said, I win, you lose. That's it. There is no other way. For me to win, you have to lose. Okay? I have to become rich at your cost. It is not possible for both of us to become rich. I have to grab your money, then I become rich. It is not possible. Both of us will become rich. And they believed that the resources were very little. There was only so many resources. And it is at somebody else's cost that I had to grow. That is why they would conquer a kingdom. They would kill all of them, snatch all the gold and go away. That's because they thought that tomorrow is worse than today. Tomorrow something else is going to happen. That is why if you have read Amar Chitra Katha, how many of you have read Amar Chitra Katha? Lots of you, right? Or maybe Chandamamas or whatever that is. What does it say? It talks about a stingy, rich businessman or a money lender. He would keep all the money in his tijori. Every day morning, he'll open it, see it, and lock it. Or he will hide it below a tree and give directions to his children. Why? Why were they holding money? Why were they holding gold? Because they believed that tomorrow is going to be worse than today. So I need to keep money for tomorrow. That was the concept. So what was happening? The size of the pie was fixed. There was only that much of resource available. So we will all fight for the same resource. Who was in control? The gods were still in control. We still prayed the gods. And the king became the access to the god. The king started demanding everything. So the king dictated what you should do. The king dictated everything. This is what was happening. Pay attention, because this is going to be something that will lay foundation to our marketing conversation. Okay? Then something happened. Something very important happened, which changed the world dramatically, which changed the whole direction of the world. The word credit came. What is credit? Can one of you describe credit? Lending money and expecting you to with interest on a later date. And why would you borrow the money? And because you are hopeful that with that money, even with some interest, I could make more money. Correct? So the word credit came in. Now, whoever invented that credit, the credit card, must have been the most brilliant person, because he stopped all wars. He said, let's give money, let's lend money. The king would then lend money and say, okay, you are producing 100 acres of land. I'll lend money, use this money to grow more crops, use this money to grow more stuff, use this money to grow more buildings. And then I continue to tax you 10%, but my earnings will go up because there's a larger resource that you have produced. So he can lend more so that he can get more taxes. It's not more percentage of taxes, more money in the same things. So what did lending promote? Lending promoted entrepreneurship, correct? I was now willing to do this. Now, the size of the pie was 10. Why do you have to bake the pie? Bake a dosa, bake an idli. So there was variety that came up. So there were lots and lots of options. Look at how the world is going. The world was totally dependent on God, on weather. Then the kings came up. They controlled everything. Then the kings realized we can lead a wonderful life in a win-win game. This became a win-win. You win, I win. That is what happened. And when that happened, what happened? When that happened, venture capitalists came. The first venture capitalists. How many of you are on your own? How many of you are planning to do your own business? How many of you are startups here? Anybody? No, no startups. All of you working for somebody? Good. So eventually planning to be on your own? Never know, right? So with money available, technology started developing. Technology started developing and they started exploring. Remember, we started traveling. Better ships were there. You could travel 1,000 miles in the sea. And that is how Europe started expanding all over the place. Going back to the same question, the greatest explorer was Columbus. Was Columbus successful in his mission? What did he go out to achieve and what did he achieve? He went to find India and ended up landing in America. He tried to prove that the world is round, but then he was one of the first ones. You've been signed out because you are, I don't know what that means. Let me see what's happening. Hey, can you listen to me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, you
Yes,
can
sir.
hear.
Yeah, because it said I got longer. Okay, never mind. So there you go. So now the king was a different type of a king. What kind of a king was he? It was the king who was also wearing a business suit. The king was also willing to lend money to do a lot of explorations. As a matter of fact, you should read this guy. I missed out on telling that to you. Where will I find him? I'll find him here. Correct. You must read this man called Yuval Noah Harari. If there's something you really want to write this. Okay. Yuval Noah Harari is one of the new upcoming authors, and he writes a lot of interesting stuff. And he says that the European nations started funding exploration to other parts of the world. And as a part of that, they even explored the formation of East India Company. East India Company was formed, joining hands with the British government and a set of private people. Okay, so there we are. So this is what happened. Great exploration happened. And all of this has still not brought India into the picture. This is because India was still in the backyard. India was still not that. India was on a different trip altogether. Then what happened? One of the first things that you will have to know about is a gentleman called Adam Smith. Adam Smith is one of the the founders of economics, and all that went into it. So he said, greed is good. We all grew up with a society which said greed is bad. Don't be greedy. But greed is good. Why? Because when man is greedy for money, He will invest money. He will employ people. Greed is good because he not only benefits himself, but he will also use to benefit. A greedy man will employ, he wants more money, so he'll employ more people. He'll set up more factories, more things, more. So this is what Adam Smith said. Okay. As a result of the venture capitalism in the previous slide, what happened was whole of Europe colonized the rest of the world. We know it, right? The Portuguese, the Portuguese, the Dutch, the Britishers all came, landed up in India. Why? Not to teach us English, right? They came to just take our resources and so that they have a better lifestyle. So this is what ended up. And why were we not doing it? Because we were still stuck in the old era of the king saying that zero-sum game. We are still in the zero-sum game, saying that I will. There were small battles going on. I don't know the kingdoms. Maybe the Bahamas were fighting the Chalukyas. I may be bad in history. The Bahamas and Chalukyas may be 200 years apart. I don't know. But that's what was happening in India, whereas the rest of Europe had really expanded in a very big way. That was the cause of some of our trouble. And they started what is called the Industrial Revolution. What does the Industrial Revolution mean? All of a sudden, they found that they could manufacture machines which could produce in large numbers, very large numbers. They could produce meters and meters of cloth. They could produce everything in huge quantities. Now, when they started producing in huge quantities, they had to have somebody to buy it. Otherwise, what would you do producing so much of them? Nobody's going to buy. So what they did was the industrialization happened. And when industrialization happened, they started conquering all other smaller nations and bigger nations, India and all, which were backward. And as a result, the rich and the poor divide happened. They were the rich countries and we were the poor countries. That's what we were rich. But because we did not have an explorative thinking, what were we doing? We were exporting our religion. We had Buddhism go all over the world, whereas these guys were conquering other nations. Then what happened? The rich countries decided what the poor country would buy. So now the poor country had no option of what to buy. Whatever the rich sold them, they had to buy it because that was the colonization. We were the slaves and they were our masters. Okay, so that was what was happening. All of this is only to tell you that this is an important line of conversation for us to understand what is marketing. Finally, 75 years back, we started off from 5,000 years or 10,000, 75 years back, most of the countries got liberated. They became independent, just like India became independent 75, 76 years back. Then what happened? The rich and the poor divide diminished. There you also had competition. There were more than one seller. Now, when there is seller competition, what happens? Who is the king when there is a competition? The buyer became the king. Now, you see the buyer had a choice. Earlier, the buyer had no choice. Now we are getting into why we should market our products. Earlier, there is no marketing. Buy it or I'll kill you. That's it. Right? Or there is no other choice. India was still stuck in the back. India was still stuck in the past. Whereas the 4 Asian tigers, which are the 4 Asian tigers? It was Japan, Korea, Singapore, and maybe Malaysia or something. All of them started growing very fast. But India was still in the back because we were still in the old mindset. India and China were in the old mindset. Finally, Okay, so what happened 75 years? Any questions? Okay, no. So who was in control? More competition means customers are happy, right? When there are more than one service provider, we threaten them that we will switch away. Earlier, there was only BSNL. Whatever service he gives, we have to take it, right? Today, there's only one supplier for water and one supplier for electricity. So he switches it off. We have no choice. But imagine 10 years from now, Tata Power versus Adani. So you'll say, if you don't give me, you can switch. Who is your provider? Then everybody will try to serve you better, right? One year that you should remember in your mind, I guess most of you are born after 1989, or some of you are after or before 89. If some of you, doesn't matter. One thing that is important is 1989 is a very landmark year in our lives. Why is it? Is because this was the first time that there was a China Tiananmen Square protest. That means in China, they tried to bring in democracy. It didn't happen. That is what happened. Then dismantling of apartheid. You know what is apartheid? Yes, no? Yes, no? Yeah, in South Africa, it was the rule of the white over the black, and Nelson Mandela and all of these guys fought and allowed for uniformity of rule of black and white. That was in 1989. USSR was a communist country that broke up. Then Berlin Wall. The Berlin Wall fell in 1989. The first set of GPS satellites were launched in 1989. The first Intel processor came up in 1989. The first Microsoft Office came up in 1989. And in November, the first Internet Connect was kind of experimented in one of the labs. And finally, it was also the creation of the WWW, the World Wide Web. So 1989 was a landmark year in which the whole world shifted completely from one phase of life to a totally different phase of life. With 1989, we are least bothered what happened over the last 5 or 10,000 years of history. But if we hadn't read about it, we wouldn't have appreciated it. In India, 1989 was still a bad year for India. In India, we were still stuck in the old line of thinking. But the equivalent of 1989 was 1991, when the Narasimha Rao Manmohan Singh budget liberalized India. By liberalizing, it said, it's a different topic. It's a big topic. If you want to start anything, you had to get a license. It was called the license Raj. It was very complicated. If I give you an example, let's say you want to start manufacturing scooters. The government said, I'll give license for 3 companies. Why 3 and why not 4? No, that's it. Sorry, I'll only give. So imagine 3 licenses and 10 companies. So you will do everything to get that license. And not only that, they said, okay, you got the license. You can only manufacture 10,000 scooters. No, sir, actually, I want to manufacture 15. No. 10 is 10,000. And this is the money that you should charge. It's a crazy world out there. But all of that changed in 91 when the economy got liberalized. And India started moving forward. So all of you remember, 1981 was when India got the new economic independence. Closer home, very many interesting things happened. Okay, closer home, 1993, 91 liberalization, 1993 Infosys first IPO. Infosys is the first generation company, right? I mean, he worked for somebody and he did that. So it was socialism to creation of wealth. So what did Narayan Murthy say? Narayan Murthy said, I want to create 100,000 billionaires. I want to create 100,000 millionaires. I want every employee of mine to be a millionaire. He wants to create more wealth, not distribute wealth. The Russian way or the communist way is she is a scientist, he is a clerk, they both get equal salaries. It doesn't work like that. In the capitalistic way, create more wealth. That is what happened. 2013 was also when Dhoni became the captain. Why is Dhoni became a captain important? Before that, Kapil was there was a captain, but that was an exception. First time in the history of cricket, a small village player became the captain of the Indian cricket team. That was when the world of the Indians realized that I can come from a small town and still become big in Indian awareness or Indian cricket. And all of these sportsmen, I mean, all of these actors, they all came from small town. Earlier, actors all came from Mumbai and whatever that was. So that is what was started. And 2015, Geo started operations. And you know what did Geo do? Geo resulted in what is called the Geo Dhoni effect. Can any one of you try to guess what is a Geo Dhoni effect? Dhoni told that you can still come from a small town and be the captain of the most famed position of Indian cricket team. And Geo said that you could be in the smallest villages, but you can get the same quality of internet. Right? That revolutionized the whole thing. Imagine it was on and there was no Geo. We would be stuck in our villages with not the best of the connection, or the smaller towns with not the best of many of us are sitting online are in some of the remotest towns, but thanks to Geo, we are having a reliable connection. And that's created also the other effect, which is the TikTok effect. So everybody is busy doing TikTok, right? So there you go. Finally, I believe 2021 is the new 1989. 2021 is the new 1989. Everything is changed. Everything is changed. We are hoping that there'll be new developments. And now what is happening? One world, the whole world is your backyard. 10,000 years back, the maximum distance that you would have traveled would be about 5 miles or 10 miles. And today, I'm sure half of you have gone to half the world already. So you can sit here and access all kinds of data from any other part of the world. Democratization of access. It was earlier that only very few people had access to resources and knowledge. Now all of us have access to it. Mass production, we are producing in numbers we cannot imagine. Mass production, the rich are becoming richer and there are less people becoming poorer. The poorer are being driven up and there is oversupply. When there is oversupply, what happens? You have to please your buyer. You have to please your buyer. And the role of nature is no longer important. We are able to conquer nature. We are able to set up launchers which will go to satellites which will go all over the place and go to Mars. So now who is in control? Customer is in control. Who is driving the sale? The customer is driving the sale. Who drives choice? Customer. Who needs to be pampered? Customer. Who matters more? The customer. So today, all of marketing, the term marketing is so different from the term sales. We time for a break or we still have some time? Okay. Yeah, this is your takeaway for you. What is the takeaway? The world of commerce and business. You can read these slides. Sales is just one huge process of marketing. So we are going to spend this 1 hour gone already. So next 17 hours, talking about the word marketing. Any questions so far? No? What is the difference between sales and marketing? And why do I want you to understand this difference? We are not learning sales. We are learning marketing. What is marketing? Sales is I produce this bottle, or let's say I produce this bottle or whatever this is. I'm saying, go sell this. What does that mean? When I tell you, go sell this, this is what it is. I cannot do any change to this. This is how it is. Find somebody who will buy it. But marketing is not that. Marketing, sales is priority on the product. I have already developed this product. Go find a buyer. This is the price that I want to. You first manufacture and decide how to sell. But marketing is not that. Marketing is take this bottle, ask her, do you think you like the color of this bottle? Do you think you like the shape of this bottle? Do you think you will buy this bottle? What is it that I can make easier for you? She may come back and say, lovely bottle, but it will not hold hot substances. So I go back, redesign the product and say, okay, now my product is also capable of holding hot substances. Then she comes back and says, excellent bottle, but I don't think I can open the bottle in one hand. So that is why if you've seen the bottles from Tupperware and other things, they'll have a small projection here so that you can open it one way. Why? All of this is happening because the manufacturer is not the king. The manufacturer is not assuming that I know everything. For her to buy, I have to understand what her needs are. Excellent. Everything is good. Ramesh, this is the best bottle that was ever created, but it's too big. It cannot fit into my wallet or not fit into my bag. So then we come up with smaller quantities. So every attempt by the company to do something which will make the customer like it. Why? Because if I don't do this, somebody else is going to do it. So marketing is priority on innovation. What do I do next? How do I inspire you to buy my product? And it is viewing the customers, satisfying the customer. It's all about satisfying the customer. How many of you have uncles or grandfathers who had a Bajaj scooter? Have you ever seen how your uncle or grandfather would start a Bajaj scooter? Why? Because there's something wrong with the product. And when you tilt it, the carburetor needle moves or something and it starts. But why didn't Bajaj rectify it? There was no competitor. And you want to buy this, you buy it. Otherwise, there's no choice. You want to buy it, buy. Otherwise, sorry, I can't do it. Damn about it. Why would I want it? Now, you think one smallest mistake, and then you get that headlines. Ford recalls 100,000 cars. Or I was told, I don't know, my friend bought that MG. What is that? Morris Garage car. The MG car. Huh? Hector. And he bought it for his daughter. And about a month later, he returned it back because he said it gives a mileage of 6 kilometers per liter. He says, who would buy this? So now, if you don't please your customer, if you don't something which is wow feeling coming up, they'll not buy it, right? Why would anybody buy it? So this is what is all about the difference between sales and marketing. One of the person, I give you one name to follow. The other name that you should follow is Tiffany Boa. Tiffany Boa is also from Salesforce.com. You know Salesforce.com? How many of you have used Salesforce.com? Excellent. So Tiffany Boa talks about how to keep your customer happy. You see from where we have moved in, from the customer being the slave, being the customer, So that done, we are moving into the first time in my slide. I'm using the word marketing now after about almost how long? What's the time now? When did we start? 1:30. Okay, we have time till 3 o'clock and we'll take a break. So marketing is the art and science of, I can't read it completely, of creating and delivering value to satisfy the needs. So okay, whatever that definition is. Very quiet, class. Now I think I should make you guys talk. Tell me, have you been following me up so well? Do I speak too fast? Do I speak a language you don't follow? No. Okay. Okay, guys. Priyanka, Chetan, what's happening? Are you now? Should this worry you? Should this slide worry you? No? Ready to face it? Yes.
The first one might little.
Which one?
The first one, the first picture.
First, that is looks like it's like you only, right? Sitting and worrying about. But you're not worried about science.
Not really. We are used to it.
Brilliant. What's your name? Let me write down your.
Yeah, this is
Whatever number.
Swarup.
Yeah, no, come on, Surup. We both of us do work. Okay, but did I introduce myself formally? No, right? I had some stupid introduction of myself. Maybe I'll introduce myself a little more formally. Okay. I've been working on RF and microwave for a very long time. I'm over 60 now. I just completed 60 in August. So that's not feeling good, feeling bad, I don't know. So still wear jeans, so it doesn't make me old. I have been a hardcore engineer all the time, hardcore working on stuff. I worked on setting up paging networks. I don't know how many of you have used a pager in your life. Hope not many of you. Yeah, we've set up a paging network. Then sometime later, I joined. We were among the first to bring internet to India in a privatized form. Earlier, if you wanted internet, you had to go to VSNL and take a dial-up connection. How many of you know what is a dial-up connection? You use your telephone lines to dial up, and now your parents are going to be very unhappy because your phone line is connected all the time. Imagine how the world was. Your phone line is used to dial up. And anyway, how many of you engineers here? Good batch of engineers out there. Okay. So what was the data rate that we were delivering? 16 kbps. 16 kbps. Imagine if I gave you 16 kbps bandwidth today, you shoot me. And the government of India said that an internet service provider, who is an internet service provider? Act or Hathway or somebody. The government of India said the internet service provider could only take 8 Mbps by 4 Mbps. The gateway guy had 8 Mbps. So imagine how much would you get in. So anyway, talking about myself. So I moved in, started working on satellite-based communication and services. And then onwards, I've always been on satellite services. I've been handling mostly Asian and African markets, working out there. Then in some time, okay, and then I took a break from that work and I set up the first, what is it called? I even forgot what was it called. Television over the broadband. Television over broadband. So we used to provide, now it's a very commonly used word, right? The same fiber is used to provide you broadband and also to provide you television content. At that time, I joined hands with BSNL. Hey, can you mute yourself, please? So that's what happens. Mute. Okay, good. So that's what I did. And then since 2007, I've been a co-founder of a company called Aniera Communications. We are a satellite operator and we provide satellite services all over the world. So then once you start becoming a co-founder, you don't have any roles, right? Everybody has to do marketing, because if you don't market your product, nobody's going to be interested. So that's what I've been doing. I've been teaching for over 7 years now. Actually, I and Modi have one thing in common. He's been teaching the country, I've been teaching the students. So both of us have been doing that. And that's what it is. So I know that these are going to be challenging, but that is the only way we can drive you. The course is tough. Now that you have joined the class, we're going to tell you that it's very tough. Good. The course is going to be tough, but extremely rewarding. Extremely rewarding. You're going to have lots of interaction, lots of things. You're going to have serious assignments to work on. There are going to be 2 assignments from each professor, and you have 4 classes. So you have something like 8 assignments, and all assignments have to be delivered on the same day. That means 4 assignments on the same day. Assignment 1, all 4. So you will have to wear different caps. I will come and tell you, don't care about the other assignments. I want my assignments in time. My baby is the most prettiest. That's up to what the other professors say. And then I will also push you off class, meaning that I'll pose you some questions. I'll expect you to read some current topics. This is a real school. Okay, this is a real school. Only thing, you don't wear uniform and don't say, good morning, sir. Okay, that apart, we are back to school. Any questions? No? All well understood? Steve Jobs, I think we'll let Steve Jobs go. Now let's understand what is marketing. Let's understand why marketing is a very important term. Let's look at this. The product is the same. The product is the same. The connect is the tadka. What does that mean? It's still the dosa. It's still the pav bhaji. It's still the, what's your favorite food? Samosas. It's still the same samosas, but the way it's being delivered to you has changed. Earlier, you would walk in and eat it. Then, you know, you like that samosa guy. From which part of the world are you from? Where are you from? Bangalore? There's one samosa guy in HSR layout who makes some wonderful samosas. So everybody wants to go there. So he says, okay, let me open up one more counter. So he opens up another counter. And where are you from? Bangalore. So he opens up another counter in Bangalore. He's franchising. He's just expanded his operations. But still, it's the same samosa, right? Then somebody said, oh, why don't we do one thing? Why do you want to keep asking people where to go for food? Which is the best samosa? I'll write a review for you. So people started writing a review. Which was the one which was writing reviews till very recently? Zomato, right? You went, read a Zomato review. I said, Zomato review, 9 out of 10. Let's go there. So you started doing. Now you said, why do you have to go? We'll deliver the food to you. Chalo. So nothing has happened. The samosa is still the same. It's the same old oily samosa, right? But now they said, order and we'll deliver to you. Then they said, name any restaurant, we'll pick it up from you. Continuing further. Now somebody came back and said, why do you have to even have an existence? Why do you have to even have an outlet? There are cloud kitchens. You know what are cloud kitchens, right? They're virtual kitchens. They're out there. Do you really know from where your food comes from? No idea. It could come from anywhere. So the product is the same. Nothing's changed with the product. It's the same. Jab tak samosa mein hai. Complete the sentence. Bihar mein rahega lalu. Okay. So there you go. Nothing has changed. Same thing with travel. We are still traveling the same way. We're still traveling the same way. We're still driving the same cab, but the access to the cab has changed. We're saying that we earlier stand there, Bartira, and of course, then I went to such an extent of saying, El Hoktaira. I mean, so that is easier for me. No, at least we know where it's going. So now we'll go there, and oh my God, if you were traveling before there was Ola and Uber, life was hell. I would have to take a 7 o'clock flight in the morning, and from 4 o'clock, despite the religion that I follow, despite the gods that I follow, I would pray to all known gods of all religion, praying that the taxi fellow, there will be one guy called SRP taxi, that fellow will come. And there was not even phones at that time. So how do I call? So what a different world we were. And I was always prepared to go by auto or beg my wife to drop me, which was virtually impossible. I mean, not the begging part. We've been doing that. So, but now all of it has changed now. Now you just book a cab and then you do it. I love Ola over Uber. Why? I love Ola over Uber, and I love Ola Prime. Because the moment I walk in, it says, "Welcome, Mr. Ramesh." Wow, that's a king-like feeling. But the same old driver, the same old car, the same old traffic. It's just the way it's delivered to you. That's marketing. That is what we are going to learn about. We are not going to recreate this product. We are not interested if she tells me that the composition of this bottle is wrong. What goes into the manufacture. I don't like plastic. Sorry, that's not the marketer's job. The marketer's job is to make the existing product more refined for a service which is going to be appreciated. Same thing, right? We can go on and on and on. It's the same theater, but now you book it, right? Then where do we go? Then here. So Netflix. Why did Netflix come up in the very first place? Netflix came up because the guy who started Netflix, I forget his name. Probably he's right here, right? Reed Hastings. So he was charged 3 times the cost of a CD when he borrowed the video of CD from Blockbuster. And he said, this is not the way for it to happen. Why should I go and drop back? I don't mind picking up the CD from the library, but there must be a way in which we can return it. I must tell you another joke or another instance in my life. My son, when he was 12, 13 or 14, I and he were walking on a road. He refused to walk on a particular road. I said, no. He said, no, I'm not coming on that. I said, why? No, I'm not going. Then finally I had to find out because there was a CD shop there. From there, he had bought Home Alone and he had not returned it. So my God, he was scared that the guy will kill him. So I had to go there, and the CD, first of all, it's a pirated CD, and it must have already gone through hundreds of customers. And the guy said, you have to pay me 400 rupees. I can't argue. That's it. So I paid 400 rupees so that my son can freely walk on the road. But same thing happened with Netflix. So it's not going to work. So Netflix came up with an idea. He said, pick up the CD and drop it wherever you want. We'll collect it. So it's the same movie. It's just that the experience is different. And Netflix now, it's the same old Puneet Rajkumar movies that you guys have been watching now on Prime. It's the same old movie, but the delivery is different. That is what marketing is all about. That is what marketing is all about. And look at this. How many of you work from WeWorks? I work out of a WeWork office. WeWork? No? Oh, okay. So what does Starbucks say? Starbucks says, come pay for coffee and sit whole day and work. What does WeWork say? Pay for the desk, coffee is free. It's the same thing. It's just how you play around with the words. How do you play around with the words? Till Geo came, what was Airtel telling? Airtel was telling you, voice is free, we'll charge you for data. These guys said, pay for data and we'll take care of everything, right? So it's all playing around. It's all playing around. I don't know how many of you know something called Tata Docomo. Tata Docomo was a wonder guy. Before Tata Docomo said minimum, I just say, are you coming to class or not? He said, no, of course, he's going to say no. So over 10 seconds conversation and they bill me for 3 minutes. But Tata Docomo came and said, you speak for 10 seconds, we bill you for 10 seconds. Have the products changed? Has the pricing changed? It's just how the product is delivered to you. That's the point that I'm trying to tell you, right? Want to take a break now? We'll take a 10-15 minutes break. Is that fine? Oh, let's see what's on the next slide and then, yeah, or we'll work till 3. Exactly till 3 and then we'll take a break. Look at this. The same product. Same product. How many of you have kids at home? Do you think the moment there's a badminton racket with the boost, the child wants the boost, not for the, but for the badminton. So it's the promotion which is driving the service, right? It's promotion. We don't want it. We don't want it. You know the standard joke, right? Diwali is coming and Amazon sale is on. What is the joke? You want to save money? Delete the app, right? So similarly, promotion drives as the craziest thing. Oh my God. If you're out there, last 2 of them available. I don't want it, but now last 2, let me buy anyway. And I'll not buy 1, I'll buy 2 because nobody should get it. But what is that product? Who cares? Last 2 available. Then Kinder Joy. I know no child who's eaten it, right? That's promotion. That's brilliant promotion, right? That is what it is. And I want to tell you about this. When the airlines introduced that buy the tickets, wives fly free, wives did not know, but husbands were flying with somebody. Okay. So that is what is marketing all about. And great idea, right? Free screen replacement by Samsung. What do you think they're doing it free? They've already built in the cost of an additional screen replacement. But now you want to test it, you'll throw it anyway and see whether it works or not. Okay. So that used to remind me. I used to have a phone which was a Nokia old one. And I was among the first guys to have a phone. So every time I used to travel, there used to be these taxis, what is called Maruti vans. So I used to hold the phone in one hand at the airport and zoom, close the door. As I close the door, the phone would fly and go into 3 pieces. Nothing. Nokia was a brilliant phone. I would just patch them together and go to work. And then my friends would pick up a new phone and they say, hey, Ramesh, oh, look, I have a new phone. I would just throw my phone. I said, can you throw yours? So that was it. That was what was all about. So what is the meaning of all this conversation? Is change the rules of the game. All of a sudden, billing, pricing never mattered. Oh, I pay less. Somehow a feeling saying that don't sell the boost, sell the badminton racket. So this is what was the conversation. Chalo, see you guys in 15 minutes. But before you get up, I want one question coming out from one section. Otherwise, I'm not leaving you. And I want 3 questions coming, 3 or 5 questions coming from, it could be a question, it could be a comment, it could be a remark, whatever it is, but I cannot leave a quiet class out. So think. Let me have questions coming up. Guys online, Priyanka, Swaroop, whatever you want to comment about. You want to ask what is the spelling of marketing? Good enough. That's a question. Excellent. Good.
Professor,
Yeah, let's hang on for a minute. Let's complete with her and then you start. I'm talking to the guy online. Yeah, go ahead, please.
So you said supply is more today, right? So, but during second wave in India, we all experience that the supply is really less than demand in case. So, what do you think?
What supply was in? That is in the history of the world, that is just a spike. That is just a spike which just lasted 18 months. That's a very odd phenomenon where it was a faint moment of time when the supply was less. Otherwise, it's been dry. That is an odd event and we cannot. They say that the peak of the moment, on 31st of December, everybody is busy at sending Happy New Year messages and the network chokes. But nobody designs a network for 31st of December kind of a load, right? So similarly, that is an odd event. But generally, everything is available in plenty, right? I mean, we have a choice that we want to choose from, right? And who was online? Go ahead with your question.
afternoon, Professor.
Yeah.
My question is simple.
Your name, please.
Priyanka.
Yeah.
Professor, when you chose an engineering background, why did you end up in marketing and other subjects?
Oh, why? Oh, no, that was. I chose engineering, and then why did I end up landing up in marketing? Is that your question?
Yep.
Okay. I chose engineering because my parents chose. No. No, eventually what happens is that's the given. The point would be that I did engineering because I was obviously, we all don't know, nobody starts with the silver spoon unless and until you belong to the royal families and all. So I started off in my very own level working on PCBs and hardboards and spectrum analyzers and things like that. But eventually what happens as you grow up the chain of the management, the next obvious choice for me from being the individual engineer would be to lead a team of engineers. Now, when I lead a team of engineers, I have to learn the art of manipulation of people. Manipulation may be a bad word, but I have to learn the art of getting along with them. For some reason, this guy doesn't like that guy. But for me, he not liking him is not important. For me, is getting both of them to work together and deliver the product. Now, as we go up, and many of us are working in IT companies, we don't even have any idea where our product is going and what are we landing. But eventually, as we go up and up, we cannot produce a product which doesn't get along with the customer. What is the idea of a product which has a, I'll give you one example. When Nokia came up in its second innings, I mean, they had plenty of innings. When it came up the second innings, I remember the charger that came along with the new Nokia smartphone. It had a 3-pin adapter. Now, that's very, very basic, Priyanka. That's very, very big. In most of Indian homes, we do not have a 3-pin wherever we want. We generally have a 2-pin. Now, why would Nokia ever think of coming out with a 3-pin adapter where it will not fit into our bedrooms or it will not fit into wherever that we want? Something as simple as that. Who is going to tell Nokia? Who is going to tell any product guys? Right away? Sir, please do come in. Yeah, we'll take a break. Okay. Yeah, so there you go. So that is what it is. Unless and until you know what is the pulse of your customer. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're a head of an organization, I used to have another slide. It's saying that if you don't know what is the future, what are you going to build? What are you going to be busy building up something that's not going to be useful for? Why do you have, okay, anyway, so I hope Priyanka, I was able to give you some kind of an answer. Yes, no? Okay. Any questions here?
So, Professor Swarup here, I have a
Ah.
question on your current slide, the third diagram, right? Wives fly free. So, what was the promotion behind it?
No, the point was that the airline encouraged customers to get a second ticket at a relatively low cost. Okay, so they said that when you're traveling many of us at a certain age, who also want to travel along. For somebody like me, we always want to travel the same airline. We want to stay in the same hotel. Why? No, because we start accumulating points on working for the company. So we work for the company, we travel for the company, we accumulate points and we go with our family on a holiday. We stay in the same hotel, we accumulate points. So the idea was that just make it a little more different so that you get to buy more tickets. That was the idea.
Okay.
Right? Okay, good. We'll take a break at 3:06. That will, and you will have the dean tell you something. Good. Pause recording.
I redid the assignment. Anybody can check the LMS if you have access. Guys online, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So,
sir.
just
Yeah.
check the LMS, please. I've redone assignment 1.
Yes, we see there is one fifth one added just now.
Yeah. And I've also given instructions. So just go through it. Is there any doubt? So I've said 200 words, 5 articles. So that is 1,000 words totally. I want it in one document. December 6th is the cutoff, right?
No,
Yes.
Professor, one doubt here. So when you say each article is to be answered in one document, it has to be 5 document or it has to be only one word for all 5?
So answer each article, put all that into one doc.
Okay. And how to upload? That I had that question since the beginning.
So if you click on the upload option, you can upload and select the file and upload.
So there is a question bank in that it is asking to upload. That is the way.
No. You'll have to upload in. So I have not given you access to upload yet.
Mhm.
So once that date goes by, you will have an option to upload.
Okay. Okay.
And it will come. So for me, it will come against your name. You don't worry about that. That is my this thing. You just click on that when you're ready before December 6th and you upload it there on the LMS.
Okay.
Okay. And also you send me your video.
Sure.
Any doubts? All clear? Doc. Not a PPT. Yeah. So I hope you're all clear, no confusion. Okay, there's a Gmail ID there on the assignment 1 that is only to send the video. Okay, my contact email ID. You figure all that out, please. Yeah, people have been sent. You can do that. Do that also. Yeah, that's
Professor,
also.
Professor,
Yes.
one more question I had was the title of the doc will be anyone because there are 5 articles, right? What will be the title, the main title of that single doc?
So first you copy the title. Below that you put the 200 words. Or right on top you put assignment 1/OT.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Thank you. And please contact me if you want to write to me at Dean, DEAN, Dean dash CEE. Dean, DEAN dash CEE @ dsu.edu.in. And of course, I think all of you have my number. Yeah. And if I go to bed at about 9:45, so I don't take calls after that. Before that is good. Yeah. So that is dean-cee@dsu.edu.in 9986321964. Thank you.
Right. Now this is okay. Good. Thanks. Whatever that is. So we're still on our journey, trying to convince you that marketing is a good thing in life. Yes. Where? Where? Oh, yeah, sometime. Okay. Okay. Those are different in the sense that oversupply. Just wondering whether I should answer your question right away or pull it to another time when I have a thing. But basically, the point that I'm saying is when there's oversupply, then there's something that happens to the manufacturer. What happens to the manufacturer is he has to find a way to get rid of it. So let's say there's an oversupply and they are making 10% margin of that. So because there is an oversupply, they might be even willing to make a 3% margin to get rid of it. So what oversupply, or they said, I wouldn't say oversupply. There are many players in the market is what I was trying to say. Earlier, there was just one company. Earlier, there was only one Bata. If you want the best pair of shoes, you went to Bata. So I guess all of us went to school wearing the Bata canvas shoes. There was no. But now there is variety. What does that mean? When there is variety, there is a greater choice of this. There was just IIMs where you could do your MBA. So you were either, what is the beauty of the whole thing is at one time, totally digressing from the issue, but trying to bring what you are looking at as a comparison, is that there was a time where you either had to score that 80% marks or 90% marks and you landed up in engineering. If you didn't score them, you didn't get into it. But then came up somebody with a revolutionary idea, said, let's have private engineering colleges. So what did private engineering colleges do? Private engineering colleges said that, okay, it doesn't matter, you didn't get into the government engineering colleges, they still open up private engineering colleges. But there was a lot of, not very sure whether the private engineering colleges would continue to give you the same services. But then some of the fantastic private colleges came up and delivered quality services. And because of that, we had an explosion of engineers. When we had an explosion of engineers, now we had, what did that result in? Why is it that you go back historically? Why is it that most of the IT companies seem to exist from India? I mean, from Bangalore. is because most of them did their college in Bangalore. Most of them were the ones who were in pass out of RBC, from where I am from, or from maybe from Pesset or whatever. But that resulted in lots of engineering coming. Now, the flip side of it, then I realized that I was the one who was running tens of Kalyana Mantapas in Bangalore. I said, why not I open another engineering college? But then when you do that, you do not have a commitment to run the services the way you are. So now that overcapacity is reached to such a level that engineering colleges are going empty now, right? But that doesn't mean that the IITs are empty. That doesn't mean that they just. So the point is, just because there is a demand, there was a time, coming back to your question on sanitizers and ventilators and all that, there was a demand. We were willing to pick up anything goes. But over a period of time, we are settling down. Now we are very choosy about what sanitizer we buy or what do we go at. So that is the story, saying that marketing would help you that far. Okay, lot to cover and much to go forward. Let us continue. We have exactly an hour to go and see what happens. This slide is another very important slide. This slide is a very important slide. Look at this. Now, you know this. You're excited about it, right? Okay. So they said, you've had to buy a bottle of shampoo. You had to pay 74 rupees. Good. But each one of you in this room can close your eyes and buy a 74 rupees bottle of shampoo. But how do I compete with Head and Shoulders? How can I come up with, one way of doing it is to come up with an Head and Shoulders, a chick shampoo, which is 73 rupees. Or a chick shampoo, which is 74 rupees, maybe another 10 ml more. So somebody said, what is the headline saying? It's the same product, but a different user. They said that, why should we deprive the poor people of the shampoo just because you define the minimum quantity to be 100 ml? So this guy came up with a brilliant idea, saying that I'll come up with, I don't know how many ml of shampoo is there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but that's enough to wash your hair once. And he said, I'm going to charge you 1 rupee. So what did he do? He did not compete with Head and Shoulders, because Head and Shoulders is looking at each of you, probably one with an income of 50,000 rupees per month or more, who can afford a Head and shampoo. And this guy who created Chick went so down the Maslow's pyramid. And what is Maslow's pyramid? We'll learn about it a little later. And said that I will deliver to that market. I will deliver to that market. Why should I always go and deliver the finest service in the richest country? Each of us are fighting for getting the American market. We want European market, American market. Somebody says there's a huge mass of African market. Go ahead and take it. Maybe they don't want what you're selling, but they do want a different type of services. So what was it? Same product, but a different user. That was the point that I'm trying to tell you, is what marketing does. This one, product is fine, pricing is brilliant, but there's something wrong with this. Of course, we all know that the Tata Nano. Why? Brilliant car. Trust me, it's a nice car. It is meant to do things, and Tatas don't do it wrong, right? But what happened? The guy with the Nano is feeling guilty. He's feeling guilty that he's bought a cheap car. He said it was projected as a cheap car. It should have been projected in a very nicer way. You should have told the man who's driving the Nano is actually using less road space. The man who's driving a Nano is friendlier to the environment. The man who's driving the Nano is a guy who cares for the country. That was not the message. A poor guy, you can't afford a car, let me give you one. Okay, that was the message that came up. So this guy says, my other car is a Jaguar. What should have actually been that the Jaguar guy should have been guilty that I am riding on a big box and occupying so much of space, burning precious fuel. My other car is a nano is what he should have told. So product is fine, pricing is fine, but the message is wrong. So there you see, everything boils down to how do you convey the message. Do I have more of such things? Possibly yes. Then okay, we'll skip this because we have a lot to cover. Do I have one? Okay. Product is good, pricing is good, credibility is great, but are you listening? I just told you the Nokia story. Fine product, no doubt about it. Do anything with it, it will come back and work. Okay. And they were the leaders. They were the leaders. There was nobody else but Nokia. Nokia, we used to hug our Nokia phones. But they were not listening. They were not listening. The whole world wanted dual SIM. And Nokia said, no, you don't want dual SIM. No, we want. Nokia says, I know what you want. Only one man in the world can say, well, I know what you want. That is Steve Jobs. Okay, but he's dead. So Steve Jobs said that, you know what Steve Jobs said, or even Steve Jobs or Henry Ford said that when Henry Ford came up with his car, he said, if I ask the guys who use vehicles, what do you want? They will say, I want faster horses. Nobody will say, I want an automotive car, because they were using horses at that time. Their definition was, we should have 3 horses, we should have 4 horses, but it needed Henry Ford to think differently. It needed Steve Jobs to think that you don't need a CD drive in your laptop. Who has got the guts to pull it out? Only Steve Jobs can do that. He says, sorry, I'm not giving you a CD drive. That's it. How do you manage it is your problem. And today, that's what it is. And today, he's going to sell you a phone without a charger. Oh my God. If you buy yourself an iPhone, somebody said iPhone is a hype. You said iPhone is a hype. Yeah, somebody said iPhone is a hype, which is absolute hype. You buy an iPhone, you can't even plug your headphones to it. You buy an iPhone, they don't provide you a charger. Buy an iPhone, every app that you were using for free, you have to pay through your nose for it. But just to remove it from my pocket and show you, I have to pay 80,000 rupees. Okay, so similarly, Nokia is not listening. Nokia is not listening. They believe that they are good. So again, if you don't listen to your customer, you are dead. Okay, finally, some of these products failed. I don't know how many of you know about this guy. He used to keep up popping up in MS Office. Gone there. Godrej came up with a soap called Godrej Ganga. Ganga itself is so polluted. And now so what was the big point? It just didn't work. Kellogg's thought that we own the world. Kellogg said that we can change the breakfast habits of every country, every citizen. They walk into India, flop. Why? Because our mothers love us. And how do they serve us milk? Hot. And how is Kellogg's had? Cold. You keep telling your mom that I'll have cold milk. She'll say, no, you'll catch up with a cold. So we are used to warming up the milk, and you put warm milk on Kellogg's, it will become one Kannada word, mudde, right? So Kellogg's had to redo their design. Kellogg's had to reinvent them. So there's a flopped up. Then they came back, they had to do all these things. So not everything works. Some of them fail. If I have told you this, now I want you to think individually of a product. Be smart enough. The innovative guys, I'll only pick up those who've been innovative enough, and fill in a Google form which says that this is a product I think failed and why. Good. Can you do it? DSUMM products that failed. So you know how to remember your. Okay, now let me get some of these guys to talk to me. Randomly, I'll speak to them. Hi, Ravi Kumar. Not Ravi Kumar, sorry. Ravi Roshni.
Yes, sir.
Hi, are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Or will you be attempting this question?
Products that failed.
Yes.
No, I'm just not getting anything suddenly to my mind. I'll
Think.
just think and say in
Yeah,
something.
think. Brilliant. Very nice. Who should I ask? Anup? Are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Yes, I hope Anup. Hi, yeah. Okay. So are you following me?
Yes, I am following you, and I'm just thinking loud on which product I can put in there.
Excellent. Good. I'm just trying to wake up some sleeping souls because I can see two of them sleeping in my classroom here.
Sure. Thanks.
I refuse to do that. Joking, yeah, of course I know it. Okay, yeah. And who is there? Archana R. Are you there?
Yeah, hi, sir. I'm
Are you
there.
following me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Bindu, Bhavya,
Yes, sir.
are you following me? Are you with me in the class?
sir.
Yes.
Okay, good. And Gayatri, yes.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon.
Hi, Gayatri, what do you do? Where do you work?
So I work in an MNC called Continuous Serve as a process associate.
Okay, are you following me?
Yes.
Are you understanding what are we trying to drive?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Who else is here? Nagaraju B.
Sir.
Yeah, are you with me?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Okay, good. Nutan Kumari. Hi.
Hi, I'm there. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure.
I understand. No issue.
Yeah. Good. Who else should I ask for? Sriram Kaglipur Ramesh. You got my name, so half the problem is solved.
Yeah, I'm absolutely with you, sir. Yeah.
Okay, right. I mean, guys with my name, I give them 100 out of 100 attendance. If you're
That would be great. But I'm with you.
But I don't.
Not necessary.
Not necessary, right? Correct. Okay, good. Vinu Chakraborty. Are you there? Okay, no problem. Now let's see, where is my, you've been thinking of a product?
Sorry, Professor. There was a lag. I couldn't able to connect.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm with you. Just gone. I understood the.
Perfect. Good. Nice of you. Good that you are with me. Products that failed, responses. Yeah, Solitaire TV. They very nice. How do I share this? New share.
BPL is one of the company which did not innovate and.
Which one?
BPL.
Yeah. Why did they fail?
They actually do not want to move to the LCD model.
Correct.
But 10 years later, 20 years later, they realized that LCD is the current,
Perfect.
requirement, and they're coming back on.
Onida TV, very nice. Wasim is sitting here, right? Diet Coke, Sony Mobiles, Orkut.
It's watermelon Oreo.
Oh, what is the problem
It's a
with
biscuit. Oreo tried to figure out a new flavor to add in its portfolio, but it was a little too much watermelon flavor, unheard of and highly disliked. So it did not go well.
Perfect. Good example. Let's hit 50 and switch. Google Plus failed. Harley Davidson failed. So you see a lot of things failed, right? Spice Sim failed. Motorola, okay. Mitsubishi, Maggie, due to some health issues. Good. All of you done? Are you Yeah, of course. You can keep talking to each other. There's no. Yeah, two of you can join hands and give out one answer. Oh, where's that? Okay.
Beauty brands like Vico.
Okay, let's done. Let's move. Let's move. Okay, enough. Now where are we? Back to this screen sharing. We still in the edge of the conversation. I'm going to look at each one of your answer. Go back home, and it will be on the LMS. You can also look at what it. And I'm going to draw my conclusion. So I take every question of mine seriously. And it's a complex way in which I do the assessment is that your responses on my Google Forms also determine how I grade you. The assignment. I have not uploaded the assignment. I will upload the assignment in the next class. My assignments would be group assignments, meaning that you will have to work together, you'll have to talk together, you have to chat together, and you'll have to present together. So you will have to learn the art of working with each one of you, give your ideas, and make a formal presentation. The presentation could be an investor, could be your boss, could be your customer, depending on what kind of an assignment I'm going to give you. And all of you will have to present it. And that, out of that, 30 marks of it, 20 marks will go for the group, and then the rest 10 marks. I might give whole of 20 to this group, but I might give her only 9 out of 10, and rest of you may get 7. It's because I like the way she presented it. I like the confidence in which she presented it. I don't like her reading the screen. I don't want her to not know what the content is. So I'm going to spend more time explaining to you like that. Good. So there you go. Parle G is a flop. Parle G is a super hit. Anyway, no problem. Who Moved My Cheese? How many of you read this book? Read it. Okay, it's about a boy. I can make it very funny. It's about a cheese in a cheese factory. How can I say it's a cheese in a cheese factory? Actually, the dean corrected me. It seems instead of telling the Bahaminese, I told the Bahamas. The Bahamas are in West Indies, and the Bahaminese are a group of Mughal kings. Anyway, that was the point. So the point is, the story about Who Moved My Cheese is a very interesting story and very important to each of you. There was a couple of mice who were sitting nice, comfortable in a cheese go down. Life was fun. Nothing to worry about. Play games, do WhatsApp, do TikTok, Facebook. Food was available. Every day they would go and eat the cheese, come back and chill out. So life was going perfectly fine. One fine day, they get up in the morning, cheese is missing. Something has happened. The cheese is missing. Maybe the owner of the cheese factory moved the cheese. Who moved my cheese? So they were saying, oh my God, the cheese is gone now. What are we going to do? So one of the mice said, let's pray. Maybe the God will answer our prayers. So they started praying, saying that, oh my God, who gave me cheese for the last 7 years, please continue to give me the cheese. Sorry, the prayers didn't work. Somebody else said, hey, that day you did not pray properly. It is because of your sins that I'm not having cheese. So they started. Then it went on. They cursed themselves. They cursed the owner. They cursed the gods. They cursed the thing. And then one fellow said, let's go out. We'll go to the other room and see what is there. Maybe there is cheese out there. So one of the mice, that guy said, let me go out. He went out. And God knows what happened to him. Stories started coming within this. He went out and got eaten by a eagle, or he died starving and all that stuff. But in reality, maybe he went out and he found not cheese, but he found bread. Maybe he didn't find bread, but he found milk. So it happens in all our lives. We're sitting in our company, we're sitting in our jobs, we're chilling it out and assuming that nothing can go wrong. And one fine day, your boss comes and tells you, sorry, your job has gone to AI. We just automated your process. Or sitting in Texas, they say, you sorry, you got Bangalore. I'm sure you've heard the word Bangalore, right? What does the word Bangalore mean? That a guy in America lost his job to a guy in Bangalore. That is called my job got Bangalore. Or you've been working on, I can't think of it. You've been working on PeopleSoft, and one fine day, sorry, we don't have any projects for PeopleSoft. What do? Who do you blame? Do you blame your boss? Do you blame your company? Do you blame your stars? You have to decide for yourself. Am I prepared for it? Am I willing to look at life beyond the cheese that I have? This is what the book is all about. The book is a nice depiction of what happens. These are the 10 things that it keeps. Change keeps happening. Keep moving the cheese. Look out. Anticipate. Be aware of it. Did you notice Mr. Mice or Mr. Rat or whatever his name is, that the quantity of cheese was reducing? Were you aware of the fact that the cheese could have moved? Did you get up and smell the fact that there is going to be some change? Adapt quickly, learn, change your dietary habits, move from cheese to dosa. Don't stick on to your own profession. Your profession may be lost. I don't know. I can name half a dozen professions that are gone now. We just don't exist from the time that I was there. Change. Be ready for change and look beyond cheese. A very, very interesting book. You can read it in half an hour. But you guys are interested, you can read it. But otherwise, this is the gist of it. Finally, marketing, as in life, is a closed loop. What does a closed loop mean? A closed loop means that there is a feedback. The only difference between marketing and sales is that there is no feedback. Marketing is feedback. There is. Am I doing well? How often have you asked your boss, am I doing well? Do you think you guys, there was a time when I would ask my boss, am I part of the problem or am I part of the solution? Right? Many a time I could be a problem for my boss. Kya karenge isko leke? Or he easy saying, ye chala gaya to hamara kya hoga? That's what, are we constantly worried? Are you liking my product? Do you really need are you happy with one SIM or do you need 2 SIM? That is the question that is asking. Look for feedbacks in your life. Otherwise you are dead. Okay. Then what happens? Finally, another nice slide, which says, there's no finance, you cannot start a product. Of course, if there is a finance and if there is no product, there's no business. You have finance, you have a product, but if you have no customers, then you have no sales. If you have no sales, there is no business, and there's no business, there's no money, right? And there's no money, obviously. The miserable life of what? Yes, there is finance. Yes, there is a product. Yes, there is a customer. Yes, there is a sales, but there's no marketing. You don't know what the customer did with your product. Maybe he threw it. I just made a trip to Indore to look at those the godly places. And there was this guy who was selling that water boat. You know, he put it on put a candle and it goes all over the place. I was so excited about it. I bought 3 of them for my sister's grandchildren. I bring them back home and it doesn't work. Now I'm not going to buy anymore. The guy should have asked me, maybe. I mean, he's too small a guy and he doesn't care a damn to me. But did it work? Because if there is no customer feedback, there is no sales tomorrow. And there is no sales tomorrow, there's no, and there's no you. So why am I saying all this? Why am I saying all this? Because marketing is everywhere. God is marketing. Good. So God is everywhere. Marketing is everywhere. Marketing is God. So you're all the children of God. Okay. Now, marketing from a very historic perspective has been going on for a long time. You go to a market, you know, you buy in some shops, you don't buy in some shops. Why is it? It's the way they arrange their product. It's the way they showcase their thing. It's the way that they invite you. You walk into what is that? Pizza Hut, and then ring the bell. They thank you, or you walk into it. Welcome to some shops. They greet you well. Some shops they don't greet you well. So marketing is an act of selling your products a little more nicer. We will be talking all of these terms in marketing. We'll get along with it. It's been a long journey so far, but we have no more to go. The first reference to marketing, I don't know how many of you can understand this slide. Adam and Eve was living comfortably, and the snake came and said, eat this apple and your life will be better. The first marketing happened through this process. The other set of marketers are these guys. Do you know them? You know some of them, right? What do? All of them promise you heaven. Follow my religion. I'll go to heaven. Pakka. But customer feedback. No customer feedback. They are taking you for a ride. This is their marketing, their products all the time. And once in 4 years, all these jokers come and market their products, right? And we know they are marketing. So everybody is marketing, including you, including me. Every one of us are marketing. Every one of us are marketing. Every one of us. Okay. Now, let me move to the first of the many graphs and slides that go. This is your first, at 4 o'clock, first graph of the day. What does it say? As price drops, consumption rises. Correct? Obviously, right? If the price of rice falls, more of people will eat rice, right? If the price of internet falls, we will use more of internet. That's an assumption. Correct? No, anybody disputing me? No? Right? Perfect. This is one fundamental graph. As price falls, consumption rises. Now let's look at 3 other situations. I said price falls, consumption rises. Now I'm disputing it. How am I disputing it? Price falls, consumption falls. That's it. Price falls, consumption falls. There's another situation. Price rises, consumption rises. Crazy. Give me examples of any one of them. I'll give you one example. Price falls, consumption rises. As the price of rice falls, more and more people below the poverty line or more and more people like us will consume more and more of rice. Give me an example of price falls, consumption falls. Blank.
Tata Nano.
Yeah, why? Why?
Because customer consider it as a like a kind of prestige or
Status.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
There is a human tendency to believe that when price is low, the quality of the product is low.
Quality of the product is low. And one example in the same auto sector, other than Nano, that you can think of about a couple of years back.
RT800.
Let's see.
Ambassador.
No, I'll give you an example. What I was thinking of, all of a sudden, all the manufacturers reduce their prices of their vehicles. Why? Because they wanted to dump you BS4 engines. They said because starting March 31st or April 1st, 2020, they were not allowed to sell BS4 in cars. They had to sell BS6. So then the prices went down. But we said, why do you think we are jokers over? Why would we buy the thing? Price falls, consumption falls. The second is price rises, consumption rises. Example,
Bitcoin.
iPhone. Yeah. Okay. What else?
Petrol.
Yes. Yeah. So there's a perception, just like you perceive the fact that if the price has fallen, it's cheaper. Then if the price has risen, there must be something wrong. If I'm going to, somebody invites me for dinner, I might take a bottle of wine to their house. And depending on whether I like that person or not, if there's a 600 rupees bottle versus a 1,000 rupees bottle, it might be perceived that the 1,000 rupee bottle is probably even more nicer and better quantity. So I might buy it. So when I'm buying, if I want to buy my wife a diamond, I'll tell her I had 2 diamond rings to select. One was 30,000, another was 60. 30 was cheaper, I bought it. What do you think she's going to do to me? I have to go to the dentist. Yeah. So the point is, this is how the whole idea of it. One example that I want to bring this up, I don't know how many of you actually gone to this place called Vidyarthi Bhavan. You've been there?
Yeah, we have been there.
Good. So this guy is a good friend of mine.
Yes, sir.
This guy Arun Adiga is a good friend of mine, and you should see the kind of crowd out there. You have to. We used to earlier call it the first 20 was played in Vidyarthi Bhavan, meaning that you wait 20 minutes to get a seat. After you sit and place the order, another 20 minutes for you to get the dosa, and you eat for 20 minutes. So anyway, so the idea is it's a huge waiting for the thing. And this guy who owns the place is a smart guy, and he owns a lot of property right behind his Vidyarthi Bhavan. So I told him, hey, why don't you do one thing? Why don't you expand? You only have 70 chairs, put another 70 and expand it. Wow, that'll be fun. He's saying, Ramesh, are you teaching marketing, and what are you telling me? I said, what? It's the whole perception that there is a demand. Even though there are seats empty out there, we have to give a perception of waiting. If I were to walk into Vidyarthi Bhavan for a dosa and I got a seat immediately, something is wrong, man. Something is wrong. This guy is not doing very well. Kuch gadbad hai. So, but if I go there, wait for 45 minutes, sweat it out, feel hungry, any dosa will taste good, right? So this is what is about. So creating a demand for it, just like how it is. You're booking an air ticket. They say last 2 tickets available. And you go. Actually, why booking a ticket? You go and buy bookmyshow.com and movie theaters. I was the one who's the first. I was telling my wife, hey, going away soon. Few tickets left. I mean, they only had few tickets. So I go. The whole cinema theater is empty, right? And so that is what is creating the demand. Now, if you understood all these graphs, let me give you the first meaning of marketing. The price to consumption curve is non-linear due to the presence of the term called marketing. Marketing makes the consumption very different. Despite the fact that this guy's oranges cost 20 a kg, and what this guy is selling 30 a kg, people are buying oranges from him because he has lots of other features. He might say oranges 20 rupees a kg. He says oranges with immunity features built in. Yeah, organic. So the point is, it's marketing which makes the whole thing non-linear. You guys understood? Perfect. Okay, good. Then what do we have? I should be doing that, not you. Okay, it's marketing is human nature. You and I are marketing ourselves all the time. we had an orientation program in which we all talked about all the professors and students of things. Why? We were marketing ourselves and telling you, making you feel confident that this is probably the best place for you to be on your second innings as a student. And not only that, bring your family along, bring your friends along. That is what we were trying to tell you. Okay? Don't bother about this slide. The types of marketing. City. A city is marketing itself all the time, right? God's own country. And we are talking about Uttar Pradesh. I'm just checking. Open up. Okay. So a city is advertising itself. The country is visit Dubai. That is an event. Person. Yeah, you know, Imagine Dragons. They're setting up a show. The Kapil Sharma show. I mean, he's projecting himself left, right, and center, right? An event. In polio now, or the vaccination thing. These are all events. Now, social events, political events, products and services. These are all what they are. There are a couple of crazy characters in the marketing world. You know Richard Branson? What does he do? Yeah, he's got Virgin Atlantic, Virgin thing. He is like Steve Jobs. People like Steve Jobs are maverick CEOs. And Tesla, if you look, what is his name? Elon Musk. They are marketing all the time. The moment I say Tesla, Elon Musk comes to your place. The moment I say Elon Musk, SpaceX comes to your mind. So this is a kind of a connect that you have all the time. People are marketing themselves. There are a few. Do you know a few who are other than these names? Can you bring up some names? Bill Gates.
Jeff Bezos.
Okay, great. Who else?
Mukesh Ambani.
Mukesh Ambani. The moment you think of Mukesh Ambani, you're probably thinking of Jio, you're thinking of Reliance. Right. And so they are, who's Sid Lal? Yeah, whoever is have marketed him. Huh? Ratan Tata. Okay, good. But they are not maverick. I mean, Ratan Tata are all very different. You know, they are normal human beings. But the guys like Tesla guy, Steve Jobs, they're all crazy characters. They will do unique things. But beyond brands, imagine you're willing to pay 3,000 rupees for a US polo shirt, bold on your thing. Would you buy Ram Raj t-shirts? Why? Why are you laughing? US polo is the Ram Raj of America. It's just how they're marketing them. It's just how they're marketing. I always ask this question and I have got it 100 out of 100 every time. Let me give you an example. There's this gentleman or this young boy, or let's say you're the guy who's going to be. What's your name? Ravi. There's Ravi who is about to go and catch a flight to Delhi. He's already running late. Okay, he's a young guy. He's doing very well. Of course, you're a young guy. You're doing very well. So the boarding has already started at the gate for the Indigo flight to Delhi. They're announcing last boarding, but there are lots of other people sitting here. Now, Ravi has got himself a new laptop. So what does he do? He wants to show. He sits, opens his laptop and starts typing. Maybe he's typing, maybe he's imaginarily typing, and he wants people to look around. What's the likely brand of that laptop? Do you think he'll do it with a Lenovo? Do you think he'll do it with a Dell? So that is what the brand is. The brand is going to be that this guy wants to tell people that I'm sorry, but I have an iPhone. But earlier I had another phone and I would put it in my pocket. Nobody wants. I don't want people to know which phone I have. It's because people who have an iPhone will show it off. Right? I'm trying to show off that I have an HMT watch. But that's another extreme end of the thing, saying that I'm so rustic that I have an HMT watch. So similarly, the first time I went to England, long back, I was taken to a store which was called the Harrods. Harrods is the superstore of that time. Okay, there must be hundreds now. So when I went there, somebody I knew, he took me there and he asked me to buy something. I said, why would I want to buy? He said, no, when you buy something, you get a Harrods bag. And then you carry that Harrods bag. People say, wow, you shopped at Harrods. Sri Kumarans also gives me that bag. But that's the difference between branding. Branding is all about how do you build it up. Okay, good. Then people dislike marketing. Why people dislike marketing? They make you spend. Simply, oh my God, which phone do you have? iPhone 6. Buy iPhone 13. Otherwise, you're not qualified. Okay, brand differentiation where it doesn't exist. 2 bottles of water, Bisleri versus which one? Kinley or something like that. Well, water is water. What is water? There used to be a brand called Manik Chand. They used to say more oxygen per liter. That's what rubbish. More oxygen will die. But they branded themselves as a thing. More oxygen. Don't care for earth and safety. You see the way the packaging comes. You order something from Amazon, wrapper after wrapper, and it's our responsibility to segregate the creation that they do. They promote a materialistic lifestyle, encourage you to buy. That is what it is. And illegal. Who cares what we provide? All those tobacco ads or pan parag ads and all that, they're illegal, but who cares? As long as we are providing, okay? Social discriminators, okay? If you don't have that, then you are not part of the team, right? You must be. Hey, by the way, didn't you guys watch that new movie in Netflix? Oh, you don't have Netflix? Ah, man, what a shame. You still watch Doordarshan. That's it. Social discriminators. You don't have Netflix. What is? I know I may not take the next class. Okay. So there you go. Discrimination. You don't belong to my group if you're not part of it. There was a time when all of us watched the same channels and we will. But there's good thing about marketing. Good thing about marketing is we tell you we exist. There's a course called Executive MBA. There's a course called marketing, which you should take. They build and upgrade lifestyles. They tell you the better things in life. Okay, obviously, right? I mean, you get the fight between Jio versus Airtel is a good fight. Each one is trying to, and possibly pushing Airtel to behave more better, promote business and trade. Obviously, generates jobs, awareness. A lot of things that we come to know about it. We're not aware. Social marketing. We're constantly aware of the fact that, can you complete this sentence for me? Sugar is the new tobacco.
Enemy.
Now, tobacco is given. Tobacco is a no, right? Obviously, I mean, who's having it is bad. But sugar is the new thing. Less sugar. We're constantly promoting it. Sugar is no sugar. Don't have sugar. Now, most of you, I'm sure, are aware of it, or from today onwards. Okay. So this is what is marketing all about. Long subject, long conversation. And what's your course? These are the terms that we will learn in your course. Every one of these terms we learn. B2C, growth, performance, you can't see it, low-hanging fruit, segmentation, cold calling, demography, ARPU, gatekeeper, VRIO, all of that. We will talk about these companies, McDonald's, Housing, Jio, FedEx, Amazon, Fortune Group, all of this we will talk about. Okay? And this is our boss. This is Philip Kotler. Philip Kotler is called the father of modern marketing. And doesn't matter which edition of Philip Kotler's book on principles of marketing that you pick up, just pick up any edition and start reading. Okay, this is your book. This is your book. This is what you're going to be reading about. And I'm going to make a lot of references to this book. Get by yourself. It's a thick, fat book. Keep it as a pillow. Promise you good sleep. Okay. But you can also download it in lots of places. And I don't have to tell you that, right? Then this is what our syllabus is going to be. This is what our syllabus is going to be. We do an overview of marketing. We'll talk about consumer decision-making process. We'll talk about pricing. We'll talk about brand and equity. We'll do very little of marketing channels, supply chain, because you might end up doing a specialization. We'll briefly discuss about some of them, but we'll kind of hang around in this place for most of the time. Okay? And a lot of self-reading. Then where are we? These are our courses. You'll understand definition. Ask me questions. The more you ask, the more I say. If you ask on a particular point, I'll elaborate. But you assume it's okay, I don't want to ask him. It's fine. I wouldn't know where to expand and where to. The more you ask, the more in depth I'll go. What is marketed? I already told you this. This is the structure that you will have to understand, that everything is correlated. The market, the manufacturer, the markets, the governments are all correlated. There is services, there is taxes, there is money, there is goods. All these languages we will learn. Okay. Then this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. How many of you know this? 1, 2, you, 3. Okay. How many of you don't know this? Okay, so that can the known teach the unknown? Well, life would have been very better for professors, right? We just you teach him and matter is done. Okay, so Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We'll talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We will do another one and we'll call it a day exactly at 4:30. Okay, Maslow's hierarchy of needs said that every human being is somewhere in this journey. Every human being is somewhere in this journey. You may be right here, or you may be right here. Don't know where you are, but each human being is in this journey. There are different levels of the pyramid. The basic is physiological requirements. What is a physiological requirement? Roti, kapda, or makan. What does that mean? These are the 3 fundamental things everybody wants, right? But the 4th one got added up recently, about 10, 15 years back. What was that? Huh?
Internet.
No, not mobile. Just play around with it. You will get the word.
Internet.
Internet, broadband. Roti, kapda, makan, or broadband. Roti ke bina mobile, I mean, without broadband, we can't live, right? I can't work on a PPT, even though I don't want broadband if the broadband is not working. So basic requirements of a human being is food, water, security, right? The poor man out there, the man on the street is worried about his next meal. But you're not worried about your next meal. You have gone up the Maslow's pyramid. You're probably here or probably in the next one. This is the security. Having got food, kapda, makan, and all that stuff, he wants to be secure. Secure means what? That my next job continues. Tomorrow I will have employment. The biggest problem that we noticed during the pandemic was these were the ones who were so scared that their jobs are gone, that they might fall from this level to this level, that they ran back to their houses, right? There was this huge worker migration which happened in the first wave. So that is the second wave. Safety. Am I secure? Is the money that I have earned secure? Are my children and my family safe? Am I happy with it? If that is done, we go to the next level. What is that level? Love and belonging. That means man is a social animal. I want to be liked. the biggest punishment you can give to anybody is to isolate him, right? Why is so much of psychological damage to people who are quarantined? Because we are not used to being, we need people around. We need people to look at us, talk to us, communicate to us. So the third is loving and belonging. Having got a kapda, roti or makan, having got my house, I want somebody to love. Maybe it's time for me to have a girlfriend. It's time for me to marry. It's time for me to be a little more socialized. Now, esteem. Now I want to show off. This is a time when I'm going to buy a car. This is a time when I'm going to buy a car better than his car. The only reason I want to change my car is this guy has got a BMW. I think I should buy something better than it. I want to show that I'm doing better. I want to show to the world that I have done. I take my family out for a movie. I take my family out on a travel. So each one of us have this feeling of esteem. Where are you today? Are you in the physiological situation, or are you in the safety? Are you in the love feeling, or are you Bill Gates? A feeling of self-actuation. Oh yeah, sab kuch. I've done, achieved. I've done everything. Now it's the time to give away. Bill Gates is giving up all that he's earned. That, like I told you earlier, the concept was that you save money, and live enough for your children. Now the concept is zero to the grave, meaning that when I go to the grave, my bank balance should be zero. That is a new concept. It's a feeling of accomplishment. So this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And needless to say, once you start writing, we'll have you. What is that? Somebody is asking me. Can we have this PPT? This PPT, Bhavesh Agarwal is where? Mayur? Baba Ramdev is on which level? I may have missed out, but I want you to write it again. Okay. Then we have Maslow's pyramids. Then we have needs, wants, and demands. What is needs? Needs are, the earth has enough for your needs, but not for your greed or wants. Correct? Needs, the basic need. But the human nature is a funny thing. I keep giving you rice. One day you're going to tell me, give me basmati. Because that's human nature. Human nature is to say every need becomes a want and every want becomes a demand. Every want. I demand, why haven't you given me? They demand a better quality of life. Everybody needs education. The want is to study in the best. The demand is to get the most quality education. So needs, wants, and demands are something that you should understand. Do you want me to go further into it? I can do it. Whenever you stop me, I will go further. Otherwise, these type of needs, do we do it now? I'm going to stop it now because this is going to take another 10 minutes. Remember, we'll start off from Maslow's pyramids. Okay, not letting you down so quickly. Okay. Okay, good. So I enjoyed teaching you, and now some feedback. Probably the last time I'm going to ask you for the feedback, and then we get it. You're happy with the speed, right? You're following me and all that. Anything you want. All my PPTs will be in the LMS. So learn how to use the LMS, and your assignment will have the same deadline as every other assignment. And what else do I want to say? Our next class is 2 weeks from now. That's it. Any questions from your side? When do we go home? Apart from that, yeah, saying something? Do you know songs.pk? Yeah. You know how to get the book. That's it. It's available online. Just download it. Why would you want to? I won't tell you where to download it. Because that will not be correct. But there are plenty of books. You want to buy it, you buy it. It's a good book to buy. But whether it's available at CA Engage or not, I really have no idea. You can check with them. Okay, but buy this book. Good to always have it. Otherwise, but generally, from the following fact that if you listen to me, if you follow my slides, moksha guarantee. Okay. Right? And that's important, right? At the end of the day. Okay. Anybody else? Any questions? Good. See you all next class.
Sure,
Your
sir.
delivery contains capacity. Thank you. Thank you, Venkatesh.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you, sir.
Professor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.